Welcome back to another Spirit Island video. In this video, we're going to be covering another spectacular synergy, this time looking at Hearth-Vigil and Grinning Trickster. Now, this synergy, I think, isn't as intuitive as a lot of other synergies, and that's because the way that these two spirits interact with each other is they play a very high-tempo, pocket-style gameplay. Now, what do I mean by that? So, pocket style gameplay is referring to the ability to cut off invaders from the inland lands. And that's something that Trickster can do very well because it has access to arson and incite the mob. So a lot of damage in the slow. In addition, it has counterattacks. Hearth-Vigil also can do something similar. It has raid, call to vigilance, as well as surrounded by the Dahan. So there's plenty of ways to create that pocket. In addition, Trickster is a high tempo spirit, and that is it needs to get ahead. If it falls behind on its board, it's going to be hard for it to catch up. And Hearth-Vigil is able to amplify Trickster's ability to get ahead. Now, how does the combo work? Well, first, Hearth-Vigil is just going to do Hearth-Vigil things. It's going to put presence on across the board on Trickster's board as well as its own board. And it's going to allow those Dahan to get those favorable counterattacks. In addition, Hearth-Vigil is going to give that story and season to Trickster, and that's going to do one of two things. First, it's going to allow Trickster to gain energy and dodge reclaims, allowing it to reclaim some of its very powerful cards. In addition, it's going to allow Trickster to gather those Dahan. Now, we're going to utilize favors of story and season in two different ways. Either one, Trickster is going to put its presence, let's say, over here, and then it'll take story and season, gathering the Dahan for Hearth-Vigil. That's one way. Or it's going to use the gathering of Dahan on its own board. And since Trickster's able to place that presence at 2 range and has presence movement, it's very easy for Trickster to get presence where Hearth-Vigil needs for a good story and season. Now, what is Trickster doing in return? Well, on bottom track here, Trickster has a way to move Dahan every turn in the growth phase. That's essentially another way to set up Hearth-Vigil's Dahan and enable Hearth-Vigil to move that presence via that last special rule. So think about it. Hearth-Vigil is gathering Dahan, Trickster is pushing Dahan, and then you also have Hearth-Vigil's right innate. So you have plenty of ways for Hearth-Vigil to move Dahan and move that presence around. And then in addition, as I mentioned, Trickster has ways to create, it has fast damage via arson and incite the mob. So it has ways to create that pocket and can shore up a little bit of Hearth-Vigil's weaknesses. So for instance, they can combo together, essentially hyper pocket one board, and then Hearth-Vigil or Trickster jumps onto the other board to help out. So let me see what the starting explorer is. I'm just curious. We have Sands here, and this is just incredible stuff here. And this is a good example of where maybe, I don't know who's starting on which board, but ideally you can possibly look into arsoning this land here, hoping for a fire, completely clearing it. Then you have access to strife via Trickster, strifing these lands, and then you also have Hearth-Vigil to kind of get counterattacks or use raid to clear these. It's just every time I've done this combo, it pretty much decimates any of the single level 6s. And just the spirits work so well together. Oh yeah, also, so Trickster's generating a lot of fear with Incite the Mob and Arson, and then same thing, Vigil is generating fear with Vigilance as well as Surrounded. So I think it's a combo that a lot of people are going to overlook, but I find that these two spirits work so well together. If you like this video, like, subscribe for more content. I'll see you guys in the next video.